So I asked Harley, we had Harley Finkelstein on the podcast. I've known Harley for a long time. I asked him the same question. So I'm going to ask you, for the listeners deciding to build an e-commerce site today, why Shopify? I mean, I have my reasons aside from we're also as an agency Shopify partners, but why would someone choose Shopify over WooCommerce, over BigCommerce, or even like any of the other sites?
I truly believe in Shopify's vision for entrepreneurship. I have seen them champion and empower entrepreneurs. I think they are all in on that. And I greatly admire that ethos. But I mean, ultimate, like, that is, it's vision stuff, it's mission stuff, it's fun, but it's also a little hand wavy. So if you want like the real hardcore reason why, it's the same reason why we settled to exclusively work on the Shopify platform 5 or 6 years ago. As I said, wait, so what I did, I'm quite risk averse. And I said, I'm going to do this. I'm going to, like, I know I could sell Shopify stores. I'm going to use the same sales letter, landing page, and run some Google ads. And I'm going to sell projects for Lemon Stand, BigCommerce, Magento, PrestaShop, and Shopify. I did not do WooCommerce, but I was a WordPress developer, so I was quite familiar. And I did one of each. I worked on all of them. And I went, nothing comes close to Shopify for ease of use, for support, for documentation, and most importantly, the ecosystem. So I think the thing you get with Shopify that, you get all of those. I don't think anyone has all of those things overlapping other than Shopify. But the thing you get with Shopify that is most important, most powerful, is that ecosystem. And they have been developing that since so early on in the company, that you've got just this true, like, whatever feature, skill, or talent you need for your store, there is a Shopify partner that 9 times out of 10 will offer exactly what you need if you can find them. And I think that is the real value and magic of Shopify. Like, you've got this base amazing platform, and then you've added tremendous extensibility of it in terms of this ecosystem.
When it comes to, I mean, e-commerce, one of the biggest things I've seen, it's underrated, I would say. One of the biggest underrated parts is CRO, conversion rate optimization, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you could bump something up from a 2.5% conversion rate to 3%, you're making a lot more money. So when a client comes to you and says, I love the sound effects, love it. When a client comes to you and says, now you're just showing me up as a podcast host, by the way. Now I'm seeing like what the elite look like on as a podcast host. I got to get sound effects now.
Like, you just have to throw some cash at some equipment and you'll be good to go.
So when a client comes to you or hires you guys and says, hey, we want to increase our conversion rate, is there like a checklist that you go through? What's the starting place for that?
So what's interesting about like conversion rate optimization in terms of like traditional split testing is it really should be the last thing you do as far as optimizing the store goes. So I think much sooner you start with, okay, what is broken about this site? Like, number one, I want to go through the site and like, are there obvious problems with it? Can I fix those first? All right, let's fix the stuff that's broken. And you'd be surprised. Websites of all sizes have weird things that are broken on them because the team builds it, looks at it on day one, works their way around an issue, and goes, oh, we'll fix that later. And then if they just get so used to it, it's like you can't see the forest through the trees. It's change blindness. You're just not seeing these issues anymore. And this happens like within days of launching a new site. So number one, you need like a third-party person to go like, well, this is a little iffy, and this is a road bump, and this is like, a little annoying, or this could work better. So like fix that stuff, number one. Number two, all right, let's stick to convention. Everyone has shopped from, anyone who buys from you, the independent third-party e-commerce store, has probably bought from major retailers online. Walmart, Best Buy, Amazon, Target. And so those players, whether you like it or not, they have set the convention. They have already trained your customers. This is what shopping online looks like, feels like. This is how it works. And so, okay, step two is, can we get this site in line with those conventions? And the advantage to that is now when I land on your site, I'm not annoyed and I'm confident because nothing's broken. Number two, I already know how to shop here because by borrowing those patterns from other sites, this feels comfortable and familiar and I know what to do. All right. Number three then becomes, well, let's ask customers, hey, why did you buy? Who would you recommend this product for? When we ask that, we find out how they see themselves. And then, all right, if you didn't buy, so I want to use, this is the first example is post-purchase survey. The second example is on-site exit intent survey. If you didn't make a purchase today, what stopped you? Okay, now I know why people buy, how they see themselves, so I can work that into positioning. Sometimes you could take some of this stuff to like copy paste survey answers into the H1 on the homepage, boom, new positioning statement. And if I know consistently, like, well, the same issue keeps coming up for people. Now I could put that issue. Now I know what objections are and I could bust those. Okay, got all of that. Everything moves up on the store. Now, can I increase quality of traffic? Great. Okay, we did all of that. What else do we do? That's when you start split testing. That's when I'm going to go back and be like, all right, we literally are just going to dream up. We're going to brainstorm things and throw it against the wall and see what sticks. That's what split testing is for. But until you have that base, until you have everything else in place, you have no business split testing. And you probably don't have the traffic to support it until you've done all those other things.
Hey, everyone, thank you so much for watching this video. If you want, check out our most recent video over here. And this one is the one YouTube thinks you'll like. But if you really enjoyed watching, please do me a favor, like and subscribe over here. Thank you so much.